Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chessboard Baseball. I'm APO, and in this video, we're going to break down the Rockies versus Dodgers series that just concluded a 4-game series where the Dodgers split. Now, Chessboard Baseball is just a place and a new baseball evaluation system where we evaluate the quality and consistency of plate appearances. So it's not just the result, we also evaluate the process and we provide an aggregate score. And that's kind of how we evaluate players offensively or hitters. So just really an innovative way to look at quality at bats, quality plate appearances, and the performance for hitters outside of OPS, outside of WAR, outside of these other stats that are out there. Not to replace them, but to complement them, to provide a little bit better context as to not just what happened, but how it happened. So that is what Chessboard Baseball is in a nutshell. Hope you stick around. Today is an interesting episode for sure. And we have the Dodgers again going 2-2 with the Rockies. Not the best result, although it's better than losing the series for sure, especially a 4-game series. The Rockies are not a very good team, so I'm still trying to wrap my head around how they lost those 2 games. But it really came down to pitching. So I'll show you the results from the system and this series, you'll see the offense for the Dodgers is immaculate. It's just great. Losing those 2 games was not due to the offense, but the pitching has been shaky, especially Roki Sasaki and Emmett Sheehan. They have not been good. They have not looked good. And the Dodger pitching, starting pitching anyway, outside of those 2 has been excellent, has been great, but it's kind of hard to trust Sasaki and Sheehan at this point. Now, the surprise of the season so far is Robleski. So Robleski, again, he's the one who pitched last night, and great job by Robleski, again, going 7 innings, allowing 1 run, just insane. And then also Glasnow has been great. So, if you have your rotation, I think you stick with Glasnow, of course. Robleski, you have to consider him, of course, Ohtani and Yamamoto. And then when Snell comes in, it's going to be interesting to decide between Sasaki and Sheehan. If I had to pick, maybe I go Sheehan over Sasaki. Sasaki just he's not giving a lot of confidence right now. Uh, he just isn't. So I don't know what they're going to do there. The bullpen has been hit or miss. News of Diaz having surgery and not coming back until the second half of the season definitely hurts, but it's better than him not being 100%. You could see that his stuff did not look the same as he has in the past, with the fastball being down to 95 miles per hour and everything like that. So better to resolve whatever issues he may have now and figure out the bullpen thing, maybe get an arm in free agency, something like that. But the fact is, Diaz was not looking good, and some pieces of the bullpen are not looking good either. But if the Dodgers have any problems or anything that they need to address so far this season, it's pitching, because hitting is there's an abundance of it. And they have a problem, and it's a good problem to have, but it's like who to put in the lineup, because everybody seems to be hot right at the same time. So with this series, this ongoing series, we have a pattern. So we'll show who was the MVP of the series. And this is not according to me. Yes, I built a system, so it is my system that grades, but it's not, me. I could have a different perspective. Although with this one, of course, I agree with the system as to who the MVP of the series was. As far as Chessboard Baseball aggregate score, we'll get into that, and then we'll get into who had the lowest. So the lowest score for Chessboard Baseball. And then we'll get to who had the best plate appearance, and we'll show the clip of that for the series, the one singular plate appearance, and then the lowest score for a singular plate appearance as well. Before we show the graphic, I just want to know, who do you think was the MVP of the series? And I think this is a pretty easy one. And yeah, this is a pretty easy MVP choice. And I would think maybe there was a little bit of a flaw in my system if Max Muncy, with the series that he had, wasn't the MVP or didn't have the highest chessboard baseball score. Now, Muncy, I mean, he was great. He had 4 home runs. He had, I don't know, he was like 10 for 17 or something in the series. It was insane the amount of production that he had, right? When we talk about results in general. Now, Muncy, so far this season, and he tends to do have some terrible plate appearances, meaning that even though he can have some monster plate appearances, those really bad ones that he has tend to drop his score dramatically. But here it didn't matter. Here his just production was just so overwhelming that he ran away with the MVP of the series easily. Now, we'll look at the entire score for the entire team, and we'll see that Freddie Freeman had a 13, but Freddie Freeman only played 2 games. So although he had a higher score than Muncy, uh, it's just Muncy played every game, right? All 4 games, and then accumulated this type of score. That's just insane production. All right, so here we go. Here's the overall production for the Dodgers for this series, and these are all chessboard baseball aggregate scores. Again, quality of plate appearances plus result of plate appearances. So did you have a really good plate appearance, and then combined with the result at the end, that gives you another number on top of that. And the Dodgers are just simply amazing. If you look at all these numbers, right? Because our tiers, anything above 11 is great. And I just have that as far as great. Anything above 11, you're doing just fine. Especially if we look down here at the Rook average, because this puts everyone on the same level, on the same playing field. The number above is the total, meaning that Ohtani will get bonus points for being a queen. Tucker, Smith, Muncy will get bonus points for being a rook. So just depending on expectation and the role within the team, whenever you see Ohtani coming up to the plate, you expect a lot more than any other player coming up to the plate. Same thing with Freeman. But with other players such as Ward or Freeland, you don't have the same level of expectation. The opposite teams and pitchers are not preparing for Freeland the same way that they're preparing for Ohtani. So Ohtani gets a bonus, and that's the number that you see here. Like if you look at Ohtani, it's 14 total, his actual number, because that's his queen score. But then 10.04 is putting everyone as if they were a rook. So everyone on the same playing field, which again is not fair to Ohtani, but I just do that so we get a sense, and then we can give out series MVPs based on this score. But still, the overall score for Ohtani is 14 and then above everybody else. This is probably going to be the case every single time. Ohtani was okay. I mean, he didn't have a terrible series. He was fine. If you can see his numbers, he was pretty consistent. And as far as his plate appearances, they were consistently solid. And then 10.04, again, yes, anything above 11, like I said, is great. Anything between 9 and 10 is really good. So he was at 10.04, which means he was at the higher tier of good plate appearances, especially on average for the entire series. So it's for 4-game series. And then between 6 and 9 is average. So no one on the Dodgers had a bad chessboard baseball score. Everyone was either average or great, and you have more great than average, which is crazy. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the great category and only 2 in the average category. So that just tells you the performance output as far as the Dodgers putting up quality plate appearances pretty much all the time or most of the time, and some players who are doing a lot better than others. And here, Rojas impressed me a lot. Rojas with a 12.28 and really great. Alex Call has just been unbelievable. This dude seems almost incapable of having a bad plate appearance. This guy will not swing at pitches outside the strike zone. He super disciplined, even walked with the bases loaded. It's just incredible, this guy's ability to get on base and to just have solid I mean, that's what it is. I mean, I don't know, maybe the system was designed for someone like Alex Call, but Alex Call has just been incredible. And that's not to mention, because I haven't even mentioned this name yet since I started the video, Dalton Rushing, who had also had what 3 home runs this series, including a grand slam, including 2 yesterday, and the dude hasn't even had 30 plate appearances yet. So it's just insane. And then Ward comes up from the minors, 28-year-old rookie, and hits 2 hits, to get his first in his first MLB game, to get his hit. Like, everyone who the Dodgers are putting in are performing. Santiago Espina has been great too. I mean, there's no complaint. Look at his numbers, 9.16. If there was maybe one, if I had to complain about one person, yeah, it would be Teoscar Hernandez, probably the one who's been struggling the most. Not if you look at his numbers. His actual numbers will show that he has a decent batting average, about 264. He has a decent OPS, about 790 something. If you look at his numbers, you say, well, no, Hernandez is doing okay. But as far as quality plate appearances, and you see that. I mean, during this Rockies series, he had 1, 2, 3, what is this 1 and 2, 3 that you would say decent plate appearances. Everything else is just pretty bad and terrible. If anyone with a 6.78, I would say Hernandez. And then what do, right? What do you do with Hernandez? Alex Call is also a left fielder. So at what point, if at any point, you're Dave Roberts and you put Call ahead of Hernandez? I don't know. I mean, I don't think I know right now Alex Call's, his thing is being a role player, a bench player, coming in and being in the lineup every now and then. But if this continues, Alex Call has clearly been better. The better player, the one who gives you more value, the one who gives you better plate appearances. He's not a rally killer. How many double plays has Hernandez hit into, especially in this series? I think he hit into 1 or 2 or 3 double plays. Alex Call will not really do that very often. More often than not, he's going to get on base somehow. When Alex Call came to the plate with the bases loaded, because they intentionally walked Ohtani to load the bases and face Call, and Call still got. I mean, first I was like, this is bad. Like, I know this is going to sound terrible, but I'd rather face Ohtani there than Alex Call. And I know that Ohtani has more potential to do damage, meaning that he could hit a 3-run home run. It's more likely than Alex Call giving you hitting a home run. But the likelihood of Alex Call getting on base, it's higher than Ohtani hitting a home run in that situation. So that's why I'm like, ooh, walking Ohtani to load the bases to face Alex Call is dangerous. But anyways, Alex Call, super impressed. Dalton Rushing, super impressed. I liked Ward's at-bats as well. Ryan Ward. Kim has been great. Rojas just had a tremendous series, especially that last game with his home run. And then he just kept matching Max Muncy pretty much at-bat for at-bat. Espinal, at first I was like, ooh, he's going to have a bad series. But then he woke up, especially this last game as well. Pages, okay, so Pages and Hernandez are the 2 average, and he really had a terrible series this year, this series against the Rockies, but it wasn't needed, right? Everybody else picked it up, but Pages still managing to stay above the 370 average, but you can definitely see that his plate appearances, and even the hit that he had yesterday was like on a pitch that was way outside the strike zone, that he was somehow able to elevate. But the approach, haven't been a fan of his approach at the plate. Again, that hit yesterday, more often than not, is going to be either an out or a strikeout. It's just that right now, okay, he's in a good groove. He's hot right now, but if he keeps doing that, that's a ground out double play potentially, or a strikeout. Like I said, if you keep chasing pitches like that, and not swinging at pitches in the strike zone, you're gonna get in trouble eventually. So right now he's in a good streak, and yeah, numbers look great. You know, but I don't know how sustainable that is. Freeman was great. You know, Freeman actually had the highest score before he departed on paternity leave. So congrats to the Freeman family. But the first two games that he had, he was absolutely killing it. Smith, even though really he was super quiet this series, but again, he's super consistent. He doesn't get way too low. He's not super high. He's just boom, consistent. Always at least giving you something, putting the ball in play, swinging the balls in the strike zone. Smith is just process wise, he's super sound and someone that you want coming up to the plate every single time, no matter what. Tucker was decent as well, and Ohtani was really good as well. Not quite Ohtani type damage, but solid and quality plate appearances. All right, so yeah, we're gonna look at the highest plate appearance for this series according to Chessboard Baseball, and it was Max Muncy, of course. Surprise, surprise. With all the damage that he did, of course, he had the highest plate appearance of this series. It was a 28 outstanding. It was really the only outstanding score of the entire series. So let's check it out. Let's check it out. It was pretty much a flawless plate appearance. So let's see. All right, here we go. So the situation here, a 1 out, 2 men on. I believe the 2 men on were Will Smith and Freddie Freeman, of course. Two of the best chessboard baseball players there are as far as quality plate appearances and getting on base. So men on first and second. Dodgers already leading 2-0. This was the first game of this series against Sugano. Yeah, and let's see. This is as flawless, like I said, a flawless plate appearances as you can have. First pitch, ball outside. Muncy, not even nothing. Muncy was good. Next pitch, it was in the strike zone. Fouled it off. Great as well. It's good. +1. You're making swings at pitches that are actually in the strike zone. And then the other one was a ball. They let it go. A ball down low. Nope, not touching that. So now the count is favored. 3-1 count. And now, I mean, anything in the strike zone, you know that Muncy's probably going to do some damage. And he was in the strike zone. And he hit it towards the corner, right field corner, for a double. Only scored Smith. It did not score Freeman because Freeman, well, he's not particularly fast. But yeah, here, this was the plate appearance that he had an outstanding on. Surprisingly, it wasn't on any of the other 4 home runs that he hit. The outstanding came on the double, and it was because it's a 5-pitch plate appearance. He saw 3 balls, and then he fouled the pitch in the strike zone, and then of course the double came off contact on a ball that was in the strike zone. So there were runners on, so a double with runners on. The double itself is +5, and then runners on is another +5, so that's +10, and then his rook designation +5. And that gave him a 28 for an outstanding plate appearance for Max Muncy. And then the worst plate appearance of the series was Teoscar Hernandez. And this was on the first game. Let's see. Yeah, so this plate appearance right here. So it was super bad because the first pitch, strike looking, so -1. Second pitch, it was a strike swinging on a pitch that was outside the strike zone. And then the third pitch, same thing. So -3, -3, plus the strikeout. That is -9 for a horrendous plate appearance. So just, I mean, 3 pitches, which you're not making the pitcher work at all whatsoever. And then 2 of the pitches, you're actually, doing the pitcher a favor by switching to things that you shouldn't be. It's just bad. I mean, look at this first game. I had 3 strikeouts. At least those other 2 strikeouts came at 6 pitches. So you're making the pitcher work a little bit. But look, he struck out again on a swinging at a strike, or swinging at a pitch that's outside the strike zone. And then the other one, all 3 strikeouts came at swinging pitches that were outside the strike zone. It's terrible. It's terrible overall. But yeah, that's it for this video, for this breakdown. Dodgers, again, were able to get 2. They should have really won at least 3 of them. but they won two against not a very good Rockies team, which is okay. Like I said, pitching is something they need to figure out. Offense is clicking, and everyone is contributing, which is crazy to even think, and an amazing a problem for the Dodgers to have because they still don't have Mookie Betts. Right now, Freddie Freeman is out on paternity leave, and everyone that they have is contributing. So what do you do? I mean, Tommy Edman is not back yet. Kike Hernandez is not back yet. Like, who do you remove? You can't remove Russian. You can't remove Call. Freeland has been great. Kim has been great. Maybe Espinal, but Espinal's been decent. But maybe he's the one who gets sacrificed, and maybe someone else. But Rojas has been great. Like, what do you do if you're the Dodgers, offensively speaking, with all these hitters that are red hot? So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to monitor. Next series now is against the San Francisco Giants, so we're going to be covering that as well. And we'll be doing shorts if anything of note comes up during the series, as far as offensively and anything with the chessboard baseball. But yeah, that's it for this one. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.